Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Cindy Grossman. New York City born and raised, luxury retail management was her game. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom were her jewelry playgrounds. Had enough at 38, fled to Miami, where Neiman Marcus Bal Harbour found her. Recruited to Mont Blanc, where her regional position challenged her. Met her husband 4 years ago, and Brevard County she did go. COVID hit, she needed a new career fit. Age-defying beauty with Mary Kay, she did say. And now, here's Cindy Grossman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Mesmerize the Mirror at any age. Mitch, you certainly mesmerize the mirror.
Well, I think you're mesmerizing lavender, or is it? It's not purple, it's lavender.
Lavender, thank you.
Lavender today.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Jesse, for being here, keeping us on our toes, making sure people can hear us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And actually even see us on live stream, so hello. So we go back and forth each week. What's a good topic? And we want to stay extremely current with our listening audience. So I thought today, because
you found a good article that
I did find a good article, a few good articles, and I also thought that I do so much networking with women entrepreneurs. I thought it was a good topic to talk about starting a business, especially in Florida. And believe it or not, there are some big advantages to starting a business in Florida. So you may say, well, why Florida? Well, it happens to be the most tax-friendly state in the nation. It ranks number 4 in Tax Foundation's Business Tax Climate Index. Did you even know we have a tax index climate?
No, I did not.
See that?
I thought it was just hot, but that's what I'm used to.
No, you see that? And it's also for its lack of personal income tax and a low corporate tax rate. And Florida is number 1 in the rate of new entrepreneurs every year. So I thought that was extremely interesting in that sense. And I think Florida's statistics show a great deal of opportunity for entrepreneurs, and I feel that's why each year, I think especially with COVID, a lot of people may have tried to stay on with jobs and they were remote, and now you hear a lot of people are being forced to go back into an environment in person, and a lot of them are quitting their jobs. So I think entrepreneurship is a big thing.
Oh, so instead of going back to the corporate setting, maybe people are saying, that's not what I want. I just rather do my own thing.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Exactly. And in Florida, it seems with the tax codes and different things, it makes it more possible than, let's say, being in New York or, maybe California or places like that. Florida makes it easy. And so it says Florida promises a light financial burden on budding entrepreneurs. The state levels, of course, we talked about no personal income tax, and it's ranked 9th in corporate tax and 2nd in unemployment tax, insurance tax, which I think is important. Florida is 0.46% share of new entrepreneurs, ranks 1st in the USA.
Wow, so almost half of the new entrepreneurs, according to that study, are in Florida?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yep. An average of 6.41% new jobs are created by each Florida-based startup, a number based by only 4, it's better than 4 other states. So we're really doing well on that.
So only 4 other states have better numbers than Florida.
Exactly. Yep. 2.5 million small businesses operate in Florida, accounting over an overwhelming 99.8% of the state's total business.
Wow.
Yeah. 3.3 million Floridians are employed by small businesses, adding up to 42.2% of the state's workforce.
Almost half, 40%, not quite half.
Right. 926,000 small businesses in Florida are owned by minorities. The accommodation and food service industry is Florida's top small business employer, followed by healthcare and social assistance and professional, scientific, and technical services. So I think that says a lot about what's going on, in Florida and how we are on top of the situation when it comes to entrepreneurs. I know I started a business. I'm looking to do something a little bit different. I'm working on a project right now that I hope is going to open up to something fantastic. But these are just a few pointers for people thinking about a business. Some people think, you wake up one day, you have this great idea, and you're going to go and you're going to look for a commercial space, and you're going to be able to open up a business and start it, and people are going to flock to your business, and it's going to be hunky-dory. Well, it's not like that at all. I mean, you started a law firm. I always work for big corporate retailers. So for me, it was, okay, you show up to work, everything is done for you. But now, as an entrepreneur, you really learn everything is on you from start to finish. So some of the things that you have to plan for is create a business plan.
What does that mean? Business plan?
So creating a business plan is
Jesse's writing all this down in case he
that's right.
needs to give advice to anybody.
I've got plans going on.
Right. Well, a business plan is have an idea what you really want to do and how you're going to execute it. I think that's important. And what we've been finding out is even when you go to rent retail space, commercial retail space, they want to know your plan. So you don't kind of look like, someone who's just kind of fell from the sky and you say, okay, I'm going to open this business. Well, what's your plan? They really want to know your plan, your who, what, where, and when, and how. Of course, they want to know how the rent's going to get paid. And
I think that's the priority, that you have a good idea about where you're going to go and how you're going to get there.
Exactly. That's extremely important. Then, of course, you have to come up with a name and you have to create your branding. I think that's really important in today's world. Your brand really has to stand for something, and it should be pretty much what you want to represent. And I know, with social media today, it's, are you Instagrammable? Are you going to be on Facebook? And how do you want to come across on all these different venues? So your business certainly needs a name, and you have to, create a logo and different things like that. And of course, we'll get into the more technical things as we go along. Legal things do get incredibly, I would think, complicated. And I would say you certainly do need an attorney.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely. A good attorney.
You certainly need an attorney. You need an accountant. That's
Absolutely.
for sure. And you need these experts to advise you on what's the best ways of going about certain things.
Exactly. You want to get started clean and on the right path, because if you get off the road, you can wind up stuck in the mud, and that's not a good place to be. It's not so easy to get back on track.
No, and starting a new business, you need to know what paperwork needs to be filled out. And my big thing is, when maybe we could talk about this, is what do you decide? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you an LLC? Are you an S Corp? I mean, can you talk to us a little bit about the differences?
Sure. On prior shows, I know we had discussions with an attorney about this topic, and he was of the advice that if it's going to be a business, an operating business, probably the best decision is to become a corporation and to elect what's called subchapter S status for tax purposes. That way, the shareholders avoid double taxation, and it's just a pass-through entity, but you have the benefit of being a corporation for asset protection purposes.
Which is very important.
That's why you set up a corporation. So you're not personally obligated if someone goes into the restaurant or the business and they fall and hurt themselves. The business assets are at risk, but not your personal assets.
That's important. Okay, maybe we'll get more into details on that as well after we take a quick break. Thank you.
Need an enlightening pick-me-up? Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy to energize your skin and keep it looking fabulous forever. Kristen can help with hair removal, sugaring to keep your whole body smooth and conditioned. Kristen will help you refresh and defend your skin while giving you a customized facial. Cindy helps skinergize and get you camera ready for your everyday look or special occasion. Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy. Find them on Facebook under the Skinergy Squad.
Don't miss the boat. The Vero Beach Boat Show, April 1st and 2nd at Riverside Park. See the latest boats from local dealers with staff ready to answer your questions. See everything from cruisers to kayaks, flats boats to deck boats, offshore fishing machines, and more. Enjoy food and refreshments, free admission and free parking. It's everything a boater or boater-to-be could dream of. The Vero Beach Boat Show, April 1st and 2nd at Riverside Park in Vero Beach. Details at VeroBeachBoatShow.com.
Waves Auto Spa, known as Vero's fastest and finest. A car wash known for their quality equipment and attention to detail by a friendly and courteous staff. Waves offers soft cloth technology, and a top-notch detail center will help preserve the value of your car. Waves now offers windshield chip repair, and in most cases, it doesn't cost you a dime. Spend less time and get a better quality experience for you and your car at Waves Auto Spa, US 1 Vero Beach, across from Kmart Plaza. Open 7 days a week.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite, ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
The law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine is here to help you with your personal legal challenges, business needs, and real estate matters. Since 1984, we have assisted countless numbers of Florida individuals and businesses with their legal issues, from trusts and estates, wills, real estate, and civil or criminal litigation. We pride ourselves on maintaining lifelong client relationships and would appreciate the opportunity to assist you and your family as well. Please call 321-639-1320 for further information on the law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine. A non-attorney spokesman.
And we're back talking about starting your business, you being the boss. And I know we left off, we were talking about the different types of businesses, LLC, sole proprietor, S Corp. And you said that the safest way is to go with an S Corp. I know you said that,
I think the S Corp is probably the best decision for most people.
Okay.
Depends on the specifics, but just in general, that would be our recommendation.
Right. And I know we started talking about having a business plan and knowing what you're doing. And I think people really need to identify their business. They should come up with a summary, an overview of your business and why it will be successful. And I think that goes into the business plan of, you know, when you're going to approach signing a commercial lease, they want to make sure that you're going to be able to pay the rent every month. A description of your business, explain the advantages of your business and the problem it solves. That's a good one. Market research, provide research on your industry, target market, and potential competitors. I know I've been asked that, what if somebody, also comes into the area, and maybe it's only 2 miles away? How are you going to combat that type of competition? So I've been asked that recently. Of course, staffing, you have to be prepared to have a full staff on board. And good luck.
I mean, the unemployment rate in Florida is still under 4%, and historically, full employment is 4%. So we're underneath that, and we've been underneath it for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And a lot of clients are still saying there's a shortage of labor.
Right. Well, we see that. I feel like we see that every weekend when we walk into a restaurant.
Especially with restaurants.
It's very sad. And they're popular restaurants, and you go in, and I almost feel like there's a wait because they're not opening up enough tables because they don't have staff. Yeah. I feel like the restaurant business has really taken a hit, but that's still the number one business to open in Florida. So something to think about there. Of course, a marketing plan. Have a plan for your marketing. Who you're marketing to. Who is your audience? I think you have to identify that. This is funny. Oh, well, not so funny. Fundraising. The money you'll need in the next 5 years to grow your business and how you'll spend it. And I know you wanted to talk about funding a business. Well,
of course. I think this is what I see the number one problem, perhaps, of a new business. Especially for some reason, this is with like restaurants. I see this. They put so much money into leasehold improvements, and they don't have the reserves to operate the restaurant or the business once it opens up. Mm-hmm. Well, you're putting money in to improve the premises, and you want it to look good. That's great, and it'll help enhance your reputation and appearance. But you have to make sure that if business starts out slowly, how are you going to survive? You have to have reserves. And, that means how many units are you going to be selling? What are you going to be serving? What's your break-even point? What do you have to do daily, weekly, monthly to cover your expenses and pay your employees? Because you're the entrepreneur. You have employees. You get paid. Guess what? You don't get paid first. You get paid last. Yeah. Exactly. So you have utilities. Those have to be paid, or you're going to lose electricity. Rent, or you're going to get evicted. You have to pay your employees. You have all the taxes to pay, supplies, everything along those lines. You have to make sure you're selling enough of the product to pay all that, and then you get what's left over, and you have to have reserves. Well, good luck. You have to plan, and the expenses are always more than you think, mm-hmm. and the income always seems to come out to be maybe a little less than you thought. Well, how do you make up the difference? That's called budgeting and reserves, and not borrowing, but having reserves to cover those days till business hopefully gets rolling, and it can take a while.
It's scary. It's very risky to start a business. Now, we did talk about finding a good attorney and an accountant to work with you, because you do need tax ID numbers, you need permits. A lot of businesses need licenses, and, just a lot of different paperwork that the federal government requires. You need a federal tax ID number. And then, of course, we didn't even start talking about insurance. You have to have insurance on the business.
Oh, yes. Depending on the kind of business it is, the landlord is going to require that you carry liability insurance. Someone slips and falls in your property, the landlord gets sued, the tenant's going to get sued. You want to make sure there's liability insurance for that. Fortunately, it's not horrifically expensive like your homeowner's insurance, but liability insurance. You have insurance for your contents. If something happens and all your personal property in the lease space is destroyed, you want to make sure you have insurance for that. You're going to have workers' comp insurance, depending on the number of employees that you have. That's a start.
Right. There's a lot to be thought about. Now, I know we talked about finances and making sure you have the money. And I'm sure this is not easy, but I'm sure it comes to a point where a lot of people may have to do this to start a business loan, right? To go to a bank for a business loan. Now, most banks, I feel like they'll laugh if you don't have some strong collateral to be able to take a loan.
Yes, the bank is going to want collateral, and the collateral can take many forms. Business assets. Sometimes they'll take a lien on your house if you have equity. Sometimes they require like a life insurance policy, a pledge of that in case the key person passed away. The SBA has programs to help under $50,000. So there are loans available, but again, it's a loan. It has to be paid back. You're obligated personally for the payment. So it's better if you have the cash and you have the ability to invest it, then that's maybe better than a bank loan. But there are loans out there. Sometimes, again, depending on the amount, we see people actually use credit cards, but those interest rates are high, and bank loans and SBA loans are half the interest rate of a credit card.
Right. And is there anyone you think you could suggest for possibly a small business grant?
Some municipalities have loan programs, and they may have grants for people that qualify depending on where they are. So you really have to check the city.
Okay.
And that's a good question. Some cities do.
Right. Maybe a small business grant, especially.
And grants you don't have to pay back.
Right. Minorities, women-owned businesses, things like that. What about a line of credit?
It's the same thing. It's a loan.
Same thing.
It's just usually it's interest only. So you don't have to pay principal right away. You can pay interest only maybe for a year or 2 years or whatever the term of the line of credit. But then at some point, they're going to expect the principal to be paid.
Right. Right. Well, it's certainly an ongoing chat and a good discussion, but everyone out there, if you're thinking, just, maybe dreaming even, about owning your own business and becoming your own boss and being that entrepreneur everybody talks about, really think about it and come up with a business plan. And of course, we know a wonderful attorney who can help you. And we can certainly recommend some fantastic bookkeepers and accountants. So remember, start that business because it's exciting and you will be your own boss. And of course, you will be mesmerizing the mirror at any age.